Bones in the Walls with Rockabilly Ripper right here on the Arizona 411 third set triple play. Before that, Circle the Wagons to kick off the triple play feature from their Figure A album. We've got Kat on the phone. Kat, how you doing this evening?
Doing all right. How you doing?
We're doing quite well, as a matter of fact. The weather has been surprisingly my favorite thing lately, with the whole rest of the world doing what it's doing. At least we've got this going on here in Tucson.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for stopping in and taking the call tonight. We're playing 3 songs from your most awesome band. We were telling our listeners that you're a band that formed back in 2019. Your bio talks about how you studied under the tutelage of Evan Coulombe.
Coulombe, yeah.
And how long had you been studying under Evan before you decided, you know what, I'm going to start my own kick-ass band?
Well, it kind of happened organically through taking lessons from him. He's part of the band Joshua James. He's the lead guitarist there. They're like the Siksa for the Salt Lake Valley out in Utah.
Oh, okay.
So he's like a wizard. He's so good. And as part of the tutelage, he recommended heavily at one point, you got to start recording yourself, recording backing tracks of yourself, and then solo on top. You need to practice every aspect of, the song building. And as I started recording, those, parts and sections I was practicing just and organically turned into songs, which pretty organically led to being like, well, I guess I'm going to record and make this a thing.
It sounds amazing so far, Kat. I love the progress that you've been making, which leads me right into my next question. Had you been a part of any bands, or what was your music experience prior to this journey that you're on currently?
For sure. In 29, well, yeah. In my youth, I was a drummer. My brother and I had a band out in Utah, and we'd toured around, did little things like county fairs and rodeos. And so that was probably my only prior experience. Then took a huge hiatus until adulthood, when I decided, hey, I'm going to pick up a guitar and see what I can learn. And started singing and figuring things out, and it kind of took off from there.
That's a story that I absolutely love to hear, because as Hope will tell you, I walk around waxing all the time about the day that I become the world's greatest guitar player. and to hear someone like yourself be like, you know what, and I just made the decision, because it's something that you don't need to put an age limit on. So it's great, and you're sounding great so far. Who all makes up the band that is Bones in the Walls? It's you and just you?
It's pretty bare bones, but it's just me and my wife, Annie, and we make all the sounds happen.
Very nice. She's on percussion and you're over hitting the strings, or how's that all working?
I do, guitar and vocals. She's just on keys, actually, keyboard, synthesizer, anything extra we need. Although for the Christmas album, she did a mandolin, so a mandolin for the whole thing on that. The drums are actually usually a drum machine and some clever work, some clever panicking.
There's a lot of things to be done digitally with the drum kits and everything, which is pretty amazing in 2021. So.
Yeah, formerly being a drummer, it's like I got this little Alesis pad I can punch in these progressions and have it loop that in the background and punch in fills when we need them. So it works. We're making it work.
Job done. I couldn't have told the difference, to be honest with you. So do you guys have? He's like, good. All right. And so you spent time training, you spent time learning, and then of course we have the year of years, which is 2020. And now that we've discussed what we've discussed, my next question is far less like clever, because it's kind of self-explanatory. What led to the prolific year that was 2020? Because you didn't do one EP or one LP, you did 3 EPs essentially, and I mean, that's commendable on several levels, especially when you're producing, recording, writing, and everything else yourself. So what led to that? Was it strictly COVID, or was it this sudden burst of inspiration?
A mix of a few things. I mean, from having all these recordings I'd done back when I was out in Utah and studying guitar, and a lot of that led to Figure A. So there's a lot of these kind of older tunes I'd been sitting on, half recorded, half ready to go. But then, of course, with all this time during COVID, it just was plenty of time to focus on, well, what do I want the new sound to be? What do I want to do? And so each EP was just another chance to explore, well, maybe I want to go a little more retro, or maybe I want to start introducing some synths, or maybe I want to go completely bare bones, it'll be guitar, mandolin. What do I want to do? And so I feel like each EP is a slightly different sound, and it's, super psyching me up for the future, the LP and what I want to do at a larger scale.
Well, you're an inspiration, and let me ask you then, with all that being said, we agree that it's just not the right environment now. But down the road, and everything begins to open up and things start to look regular again, does Bones in the Walls get out there and start playing live? And if you guys do, is it you and the wife, or are you going to pick up a couple of other players? What's the future looking like for Bones in the Walls?
Yeah, we definitely are interested in getting out there and gigging. At the current moment, we're planning just to be she and I doing the whole thing, just ourselves. We have pulled in other musicians at different times, my brother and his wife, to play different instruments at different times. But the plan will be gigging the two of us, maybe looking for some fun collaborations with some awesome artists here in Tucson. We got a number of them that are really awesome, and making new music videos, make a new LP. It's going to be great.
Sounds awesome, Kat. Thank you so much for taking the call this evening. Let's go ahead and wrap up this third set triple play with a Christmas song, I reckon. You put out an EP. Did you release this in November or December? Lonely Exile Here.
It was end of November to be out for December for everyone to enjoy for the holidays.
Perfect timing from Bones in the Walls. The name of this song, Green Grows the Holly. Green Grows the Holly from Bones in the Walls on the Arizona 411 third set triple play.